What's up, guys? Welcome back to Asimov Music. Not doing some music reactions today. My name is Michael Asimov.
I'm Tom.
I'm Stu.
Welcome. So, we're trying something new.
That always goes well.
Yeah. We are going to have a little chat. Maybe one day we'll do it live and you can join in and write us comments while we're chatting.
That's a good idea.
That is quite good.
But first off, we need to see if it works.
Oh, yeah.
So what we're going to be doing is just getting to know us a little bit better. So we're going to talk about our top 5 bands, basically.
This is ridiculously hard to do.
Yeah, I find it quite difficult.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, you just had to put a bit of homework in, that was all.
Oh, okay.
Did you do any homework?
Sure.
That doesn't sound convincing.
I think I'm very much like I listen to music in the moment. Like I can listen to a band and then be sort of sick of it for a while and then come back to it all the time. So I tried to pick bands that I thought, they've all got albums that I like to listen to and can listen to all the way through, or good live, or have some sort of meaning to me. So it was a hard choice. But yeah, got there.
I mean, I found it quite easy. Apart from my number 5. As you guys know, my number 5 changed about 3 or 4 times. But we've got our list. So I'll start. Number 5. So basically I picked Linkin Park.
Okay.
It's got to be... at the end of it, it had to be within my top 5. Mainly because my son... It's named after the late lead singer, Chester Bennington. So if you didn't guess that, my son's called Chester. I presume you know about Linkin Park, but in case you guys don't, so they were around. They called themselves Hybrid Theory, first off, but no one would sign them up. So eventually, they managed to get with a record label, but they had to change their name to Linkin Park. And that was in 1999, and then they released their first album, Hybrid Theory, in 2000, which was the height of nu metal.
Right. I'm not going to disagree with you that it's a height of nu metal.
Oh, yeah, but they're classed as a nu metal band, or they were.
Other people class them as nu metal.
Well, what would you say they classed themselves before then?
Given what they have said personally, they don't like being labelled nu metal.
But they were nu metal, though.
Sure, I agree with that.
I mean,
they got the kind of rap rock elements to it, sure.
Yeah, like the same as like Limp Bizkit and
Papa Roach. Yeah, all of that time.
But just as an example, Slipknot were labelled nu metal. Would you class them as... No, you wouldn't.
At all.
No. But they came out during the nu metal era.
Yeah, but I would class Linkin Park as nu metal.
That's fair enough.
I mean, they even billed Linkin Park at an Ozfest, and there was an uproar there because they didn't think that they fit in that category.
Yeah, I was lucky. I did manage to see them once live. Download.
07?
I think so. It was one of the earlier ones. I think it was either my second or third download. What was your first download?
07.
Okay, so yeah. So it was my second then, because I went to the one before, which you were not happy about.
And
yeah, I always remember the one song that just stood out. And it's the guitar at the first, and it's wow, 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 and it just echoed.
yeah,
Around the whole area, and it sounded amazing. If anyone that did ever see Linkin Park live, I mean, I'm sure you can agree with me, but they sounded the same, if not better, than they did in the album. They sounded better live than they did in the album. I thought they were such a good band. It's such a waste of talent when he committed suicide in 2017.
Is it really been that long?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel that long at all.
no.
No. I got this one story. probably one of the reasons why they one of my favourite bands. It goes back to when I first got into them. So the first album I ever got by them was Meteora.
Okay.
So I'd never heard of them before that.
That's the second album.
Yeah, like I said, it's the second album I ever bought. First being
Foo Fighters.
No.
Offspring?
Spice Girls.
No.
Hanson.
No. It's worse than all of that. It's
Justin
not, well, to be
Timberlake.
honest, it's not worse than all of that. It's just that people seem to hate this band.
Aqua.
No. Nickelback.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
To be honest, I bought that.
But anyway, they didn't make it in my top 5, so we're not going to discuss Nickelback. That can be for another episode.
That's Silver Side Up.
Silver Side Up, yeah. But anyway, so got this album. Oh, I can't even remember how old I would have been. But I was at school anyway, and I had an argument with my old man one night. And you know my old man. He's a big guy, so he was quite scary. I think it's one of the first times I actually stood up to him. It's probably not the right word, but basically did a...
Showed some defiance.
Yeah. And we had an argument, and I slammed my bedroom door on him, went to my CD player, cranked it up all the way to the top and put on Faint.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And there's this one line, I can feel the way I did before. Don't turn your back on me, I won't be ignored. My dad kicks the door out. He goes, I won't be ignored, will I? Takes the CD player, pulls it out the wall and storms off. Oh, it wasn't funny at the time, but it's funny now. But no, I mean, that's always one memory that will always stick with me for that band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Faint as well.
Faint. Oh, karaoke.
Karaoke.
Yeah. We were very young, very drunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good choice, though.
Obviously, I did the rap, and you did the scream. Oh, I can call that screamo, can't I?
What? Oh, okay. Are they screamo emo?
Yeah.
What? Linkin Park? They've gone from new metal to screamo emo. Mate. Oh.
I mean,
Unclean vocals. Come on. Get it right.
I know, unclean vocals, but I can technically class them as emo now because after Chester Bennington died, and it was suicide, and we all learned about his upbringing and how hard he had life. I think he was touched by either his dad or his uncle.
Yeah.
And
started drugs
early. After learning all of that, it brought a whole new meaning to all of their songs. And you listen to it, and you can hear the words that he's wrote down and how much he was in pain. But he turned it into music, which everyone then loved. But what he must have been feeling inside. So yeah, it can be emo.
Sure.
But anyway, that's enough from me. So that was my number 5. Next we have Stu.
Hello everyone. So yeah, my number 5. I decided to pick Queen. I mean,
okay.
Come on.
Ayo!
They're classic, aren't they? Classic Queen, Freddie Mercury, legend. Also, someone who died far too early, before they could get the cure for AIDS. Great biopic. Have you seen Bohemian Rhapsody?
Bohemian Rhapsody, brilliant film.
Rami Malek. I mean, if anybody could have played Freddie Mercury, he was a great choice. Great choice. But no, I mean, I just wish I could have seen them live.
Oh,
I mean, you've seen videos of when they did the Live Aid concert, and they're also, I mean, all of the band members are lovely, aren't they?
Brian May, Roger Taylor,
John,
and the other one.
John. But Queen's got quite a lot of meaning for me. I mean, I share the love of them with my wife. Our cat's called Freddie after Freddie Mercury.
Oh,
yeah, that's the reason.
I didn't actually know that.
Yeah, no, that's why he's called Freddie. Best song, I mean, my wife would say is Best Friend by Queen.
You're my best friend.
And it has a line in there, you're the best friend that I've ever had, and that's, between me and my wife.
Oh, that's...
Second to you, of course. Of course.
I'm glad you put that in there.
But I mean, he just commands such stage presence, and the vocal range he has is amazing.
No one's been able to.
I mean,
you've got what's the long blonde hair guy, Eurovision.
Sam Ryder.
Sam Ryder. He's almost there on him, but no one can.
I can't compare. Can't compare anybody.
Can't
I mean,
compare.
it makes my skin crawl a bit when people try and cover like Bohemian Rhapsody and so on. Like, just don't do it. Don't go there because
there's a minority of songs, aren't there, in history that you don't touch, like Stairway to Heaven, Bohemian Rhapsody. I think.
No, I agree.
Actually,
Nothing else matters.
They really sort of broke the mold of their time as well, didn't they? And
yeah.
No one.
And it's so sad for back then that he couldn't say he was gay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's sad. I mean, would have been loved, accepted now, and obviously would still be here because the medicine was there to help, and wouldn't be such a dirty word to talk about. But yeah, that would be. They are in my top 5.
And Tom, let me guess, someone else who's died.
No.
Wow.
But let's say
I thought that was the running theme at the minute.
collectively, I think they probably all died about 20 times, but they're all still alive. So Guns N' Roses is my number 5.
GNR.
Yeah, GNR. Seen them live?
Yes. Definitely once.
2018 at Download?
Yes.
I know you saw them in 06 as well, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, you seen them twice. Yeah, have you seen them, Steve?
I haven't seen them live,
No.
other than watching them on Glastonbury, which we shan't talk about.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. No.
This goes back to my reaction video that I did of their newest song that they released at the time, and I slated it, and then people didn't like me for it. I think he's lost his voice.
He has, yeah. He has.
I think, don't get me wrong, he's an amazing artist. I mean, he's an arse.
Putting it politely, yeah.
But he's an amazing artist, but he's just lost it now.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Guns was really, because I used to be into dance music as a kid, believe it or not.
What, like Steps?
Not like Steps.
No.
Like a bit drum and bass, like
Darude and stuff like that, you know, back in that era. So Guns was like one of the first sort of rock bands that I got into, along with like bands like Meatloaf and Aerosmith. But yeah, just because they were quite hard rock, quite aggressive for that kind of glam rock era. But yeah, massive mark on me musically, because that's what's kind of helped guide me, I guess, through life. But Use Your Illusions, have you heard the 2 albums they did? No.
I'm rubbish with.
So that was kind of the 90s era. That's probably like.
Is that the black one with?
No, it's like orange, because they did double album.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a orange and then a blue one. But you had like November Rain and stuff on there. It's Strange.
That's a beautiful song.
That is a beautiful song. But Strange is probably my top Gun song.
Don't know it.
No, very long. You should listen to it. Do a reaction video.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Strange.
Estranged.
Estranged.
Yeah.
Okay.
So another one of those that twists and turns, lots of different tempos, and yeah.
I remember a story. College, where we first met.
Yeah.
And I was still in my my youth of learning music.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going on. I love Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses, Guns N' Roses. And I was like, who's Guns N' Roses?
Yeah.
Really?
Instant dislike for you.
Yeah, we didn't talk for a whole year.
Oh yeah.
And now we're like best buds.
The days of watching like Kerrang, like Sweet Child of Mine, I'm sure came on every 10 minutes or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
and November Rain.
And November Rain, yeah. Which I think is their most watched video on YouTube, actually.
Oh, is it?
November Rain, yeah. Good video.
See, I really like You Could Be Mine. That's a great song. Obviously,
Terminator
a great film
was
as well.
Yeah.
My favourite by them. I never actually said what my favourite Linkin Park was. Anyway, we're not talking about Linkin Park anymore. My favourite Guns song is Mr. Brownstone.
Oh yeah, Off Appetite.
I get up around 11.
Yeah.
Used to get up around 9.
Yeah. But touring again now, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
Ooh. 3 of the members. Axl, Slash and Dust.
They went through that. So the first time I saw Guns, there was no Slash.
No.
Because he'd left.
Was that when Axl had his cornrows? Heady.
I don't know. I can't remember that far back.
That's another.
You've got to say this Slash is amazing.
Yeah.
Amazingly talented.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, no, definitely really, really good. What more can you say?
Yeah.
Anything else to say?
No, not really.
No?
Not Guns, no.
Cool. 4!
In a 4.
So, Tom, you can go first. Because...
Why not?
Why not?
Right, so 4. Any guesses?
I mean, he said to me earlier Spice Girls, and I think he was just trying to mask it. Spice Girls.
No, surprisingly not.
No. Okay.
Jay Spice Girls is actually one of the first cassettes I ever bought.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I bought.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
I'm gonna get slated in the comments. Yeah.
And
That
rightly
Bewitched as well.
Wow.
Yeah. Roller Coaster.
I bought on cassette. I bought Eiffel 65 Blue.
Blue. Yeah.
That's not as bad as Spice Girls.
No, it's not as bad. No.
But no, it's Metallica. That's what my number 4 is.
Of course it is. Yeah. We actually did a reaction video with Metallica's Nothing Else Matters versus Chris Stapleton.
Yeah.
Which obviously Metallica won, in our opinion.
What's your opinion on Metallica? And I'm talking about in the grand scheme of things, like what they've done for metal. Heavy rock.
You kind of put me on the spot there. So, I mean, I know they're called Metal Liquor, but obviously I don't know what genres of fucking music. Sorry, I don't know what genres of music are because I mean Linkin Park aren't new metal. And I don't think Metallica are metal. I think it's just heavy rock.
I wouldn't classify them as classic rock either.
No.
You know, they're in their own right.
But for your question as to what I think, I think they've done wonders for... They're one of those bands that can change their music and still be good. Minus Saint Anger.
Minus Saint Anger, yeah.
Saint Anger's a terrible album.
Terrible album.
Song's alright, I don't mind the song.
But that's the only good thing about the entire album. But the entire album is rubbish. But yeah, I mean, they were very like thrash. Yeah, fine. First album is very thrash metal.
Just the first?
And the second.
Because really, it's the 80s are the top.
Yeah.
The first 4 albums.
So there, I can they are metal. But as time's gone on, no, they're not. Because obviously, as we said in the last reaction video, 90s onwards, they changed their sound. And then in 2000s, I think they changed their sound again. And I mean, I did go through a massive stage of loving them, but I've kind of lost interest in them recently. Right. I know everyone loves their newest album. I wasn't a massive fan of it.
Okay. The new album's really good. Some good songs on there. But I think a lot of bands look at Metallica as the staple, the kind of what you've got to get to be successful.
No, I agree with that.
I mean, certainly in the US, since they recorded album sales back in the early 90s, Black Album's the highest selling album of all time.
That doesn't surprise. That is a good album.
And that's with all the other artists. That says something.
Yeah.
How many Grammys do you think they've won?
1.
9. That's a metal band. That is impressive.
Yeah, no, it is actually. When you put it like that, yeah, it is.
Yeah, but certainly like the thrash metal era in the 80s, that's kind of my favourite era for Metallica. Battery, really hard, aggressive song.
Master of Puppets.
Master of Puppets, yeah. Yeah.
Which obviously was made, not famous, but...
It reignited
interest because of Stranger Things.
Yeah. It did.
What I will give Metallica, though, Metallica has my favourite live album of all time.
S&M?
S&M, which, if you guys don't know, means the San Francisco Orchestra. As you all know, I love an orchestra. And Metallica. And my God, that was literally probably the first time I had heard an orchestra with rock music.
Mm.
And
again, how many artists have followed that on?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Meatloaf's done it.
Bring Me
have done it. Megadeth. Aerosmith haven't done it.
I don't know.
Whitesnake probably done
Kiss.
it. Kiss. Yeah, loads have done it.
But no, I mean that is by far my number one live album of all time.
Favourite song?
One.
Yes, you had to say one. That would have been my pick. One. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
it's a
that's a good
song.
song. Good song.
Darkness imprisoning me.
No bass on that entire album though.
The whole album.
Whole album.
Wow.
Primarily because obviously the original bassist Cliff Burton died in the bus accident.
Mm-hmm.
They brought in Jason Newsted. That was his first album. And they completely hated him, so they cut all of his bass lines out of the whole album.
Wow.
Or at least turned it way down. Yeah. So, but yeah, One's a great song. First video they did as well.
Really?
Yeah.
It's from a film, isn't it? About a man who loses
I know the video. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, first video they did.
Ah.
There you go. Yeah, that's my number 4.
Nice. Well, I'll do next. Mine. So my one.
Stevie Wonder.
That's not what that says. No.
Okay.
So mine. 9 months ago when I started this channel, I'd never heard of this. We've done a reaction video on him, all three of us. You'd never heard of him. But this guy, with his raw talent, has just thrown it all the way up into my top list because he is amazing. And I've not even heard that many songs by him. The only songs I've heard is what reaction videos I've done, and he's already all the way gone up there. And of course, guys, I'm talking about SRV.
Oh, Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Stevie Ray Vaughan. Now, I was going to do some research on him, but I decided not to. What I decided to do is go through the comments on my reaction videos about Stevie, and I took some of the best ones there. I mean, people might have just been making it up, and I'm going to look like a complete idiot. But
I hope so.
But from what people have been telling me, like, he idolised his brother, Jimmy. Not that Jimmy. And and who could play the guitar. I think he was a couple of years older than him. And Stevie got a toy guitar when he was 7. And he, by ear, learned, admittedly, songs I've never heard. Not Wet, Wet, as well. Wine, 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 and Thunderbird. And unless that's Tracy Island Thunderbird, I've never heard of him. I'm pretty sure it's not that song.
So he self-taught.
Self-taught. He can't read music. He learnt it all by ear. And he, like I said, he first learned on a toy guitar.
That's nuts.
Yeah. He was heavily, I can't even think of the words, regarded with his peers. I mean, I looked at one of the earlier videos and it looked like, oh, he's in competition.
Yeah.
He's not. It was like complete admiration and for each other. Not only he was such a humble man, but unfortunately he did pass away in 1990. He was, I'm pretty sure, opening for Eric Clapton, and him and some of Eric Clapton's entourage got into a helicopter. Bearing in mind, this pilot, although he could fly it, I think aeroplanes, or he had a hard winged license. He didn't have a license for a helicopter, and they took off. It was really foggy, and they crashed into a mountain. Such a waste. And bearing in mind, he'd also just got over a massive drug and alcohol addiction. So he'd cleaned himself up, and then that happened.
That's what life gives you.
Yeah, you try and do right, you get bent over. But yeah, such a waste, and it is probably why we've never heard of him, because he's just, well, one, I in the comments, guys, tell me, mainly for the British people, do you guys know Stevie Ray Vaughan, or is he just massive in America? Because, I mean, I did find it strange that neither, especially you, Tom, that neither of you had heard as well. I mean, I'm pretty rubbish. So it's understandable that I'd never heard of him. But, I mean, you're good with your music, and I'm surprised you'd never heard of him.
No.
But
what's the favourite song you've reacted to so far for him?
See, there's two. There's 2 out of the 4. So there's one called Little Sister. And bear in mind, apparently you're a guitar player, he played with 12 gauge strings.
Alright.
So extremely thick. Mm-hmm. And he's there snapping them. And he takes the guitar off and gets given another one, puts it on, and within that time he's not missed a beat.
That's impressive.
And then there's also Texas Flood, where he's just there with a guitar behind his back playing. Again, doesn't miss a beat, as if nothing's changed.
That's always a crowd pleaser, isn't it, when a guitarist does that, yeah.
But no, absolutely amazing. But that's me on Stevie. Next we will go Stu.
Yeah, so before I've picked a band who heavily influenced my teenage years is In Me. Probably not a lot of people know In Me. I mean, if you obviously, because of when we were teenage, we obviously listened to a lot of nu metal and teenage angst music, and they were heavily top of my teenage angst playlist at the time. I don't know if you remember, Kerrang used to do magazines and CDs, and the Kerrang CDs, I remember listening to the first song that they released, Underdose, on that CD, and thought, wow, this guy, he can play guitar really well, and he's got a really range of his voice. He go from high to low to screaming. I thought it was amazing. And
screaming or screamo?
I wouldn't say they were screamo, but when he had a roar, he roared. And I've never heard of these people before. I've never heard of this guy before, and he wasn't much older than we are, or we were even at that time, only a couple of years older. And I was like, how can he be so talented at that young of an age? To the point that I became a terrible fangirl for them at all. I mean, I've been to untold amount of gigs for In Me. I mean, you've been to me.
I have.
With Alien Ant Farm were there as well, weren't they?
Yes.
I've seen In Me at Downloads. I have no.
What happened to them?
Wow, this is it. I have no idea how they didn't go from.
He's still about though, isn't he?
He does solo, and they still do. Yeah. They do still do music now. Their music now, to be honest, is a lot flatter. I 4 or 5 albums that I really enjoyed, and then after that it petered out as they split up a little bit. Some of them left, got replaced. It's not as good as it was, but it's just nostalgia for me. I mean, my teenage years, sat in my bedroom, blasting them out, and
you're talking about the music, right?
Right. But going to all the concerts, and there's nothing better sometimes than going to a really small, hot, sweaty venue and rocking out at back then anyway. I'm not sure so much now. And he's such a nice guy as well. It's just unfortunate he got alopecia. So when they first came out, he had really long hair, and he struggled with nerves and stress and his own demons, and lost all his hair and eyebrows, but owned it on stage. And he's just a brilliant guitarist. You probably know Overgrown Eden. That was their first album. I'd say I like all of them, but my favourite album is probably one called Daydream Anonymous. There's a song on there called Myths and Photographs. That'd be my top song. Just the guitar play in it and the lyrics to it are brilliant. All about how he talks about how he made himself. There's a line in it that says, "You are not a strong man. I did this by myself, and it's powerful. It really is. So, yeah.
So you said it's Dave, isn't it? Dave McPherson.
Dave McPherson, yeah.
He had alopecia. When we went to see them, and again, this is probably 10 years ago.
Was it that long?
At least.
Really?
I think it might have been like 2012 or something.
God.
Maybe. I might be completely wrong as well. Probably. Then there was another one there as well. Didn't he have alopecia?
His brother?
His brother.
I think he is literally just bald.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if he did it
for him,
but yeah, no, he hasn't got alopecia. But no, Dave hasn't. His solo music's good as well. Again, he's just a really great artistic person. Like his singing and his guitar work, lyrics, and all of it. I absolutely love it.
I used to have him on Facebook. I still do, and he used to be very active on Facebook. Always talking to his fans and everything. And as I said earlier on, what happened? He's just disappeared.
Yeah. I think he's coming away a little bit from the limelight. They do still tour. He still does do music, but I think it's a bit too much for him. Like I said, they were big when they first came out, and then, like you said, it just petered out for a while.
It's a shame.
Which is a shame because when I saw them at Southampton University, they were supported by Biffy Clyro, and I mean, look at Biffy Clyro now.
Wow.
I just don't get how they didn't shoot up. But
obviously, from what you were saying there, that people were leaving, they don't sound as good. Maybe they just lost it.
But no, they are in my top 5 because I can still work it on and still be transported back to being 16, 17 years old listening to my room.
How many times have you seen them? Too many times.
I literally can't count. I mean, it's got to be more than 10. It's got to be more than 10. I've seen, like I said, seen them Download. I've seen them in Bournemouth, Southampton, London. I've been, loads. Most seen band I've ever been to, and every time is amazing.
So, Just So You Know.
Yeah, So You Know.
Yeah, So You Know. That's a great track.
Yeah.
That's probably one of my favourite in me ones.
Oh, that's a track. I thought you were just saying Just So You Know.
No.
Yeah.
That's off their second album, White Butterfly.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Excellent. Okay, so that's number 3! I mean, I'll kick it off again. So, my number 3. Now, we're going back...
Krista Berg.
No, that's definitely not who it is. I don't even know who that is.
Really? Lady in Red? Come on.
You know the song Lady in Red, don't you? Lady in Red, no's dancing with me.
And this is why I do a music reaction channel, because I am rubbish.
Well, there you go. There's one to do. Lady in Red.
You've never heard of anything.
I know what I like, and that's all I ever listen to. So that's what my issue was with. I mean, you try to introduce me to a band and say, "Here, check this out," and I would go, "No, that's rubbish." A year later, "Hey Tom, have you heard this? This is amazing."
You do it all the time.
Anyway, number 3. We are going back now to probably one of the first bands I ever heard of in rock, because obviously I took the mick earlier that Spice Girls was your first album that you bought. That's what I was into back then, Spice Girls and Britney Spears and whatnot.
Whatever was on Blue Peter at the time.
Blue Peter.
Cartoons.
Yeah.
Do you remember the cartoons?
No.
Oh man.
Anyway, so this takes me all the way back to when I was at school, and I had this friend there, and he was a rocker. I mean, I guess you called them. Was it emos back then? It wasn't emos. No, you just called them goths, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But they were obviously. You look at them now, and they weren't goths. They just dressed as rockers. And anyway, he was my friend, and I went over to his house one time, and he put on some music for me. First off was Blink 182. I can't remember the whole song title. Well, I think I can, but I don't want to say it. But the one about the dog.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we can say that.
No. So I love that. But then he played another one, which at the time I loved. Now I hate the song.
I bet I know who this is.
Yeah. So the guy that taught me all this, got me into rock music, was a guy called John Dilger. And if it wasn't for him, I probably never would have gotten into rock, and I could have become one of these
Normal people.
Like garage music or whatever they call it, and the noises where it sounds like robots having sex.
Oh right, yeah, dubstep.
Yeah. Oh, I can't stand it. I could have turned into one of them.
One of them.
One of them. But no. So yeah, Tom, you think you know who it is?
Offspring.
It is indeed. And what is the song that got me into it, but I absolutely hate it now?
Is it going to be Pretty Fly for a White Guy?
It is. And you guys are saying, this is your number 3 man. How can you hate a song? I can hate this song because it's the only song that people tend to know. Which is a bit hypocritical of me because it's the song that got me into the band, but it's the only song that people know when you say The Offspring. Oh, you mean Pretty Fly for a White Guy?
Metallica, Enter Sandman. I got the same thing. Yeah.
Do you like Enter the Sandman?
No.
No, there you go, yeah.
Loved it at first,
yeah.
Not anymore.
But no, so Offspring is my number 3. Biggest thing for me for that was it got me through a lot of hard times back in the day. And when I was down and I needed to escape, I would just lock myself in my room and I would play every single album they had in order, constant, and I wouldn't leave my room until it was done. And at that point, I think they had maybe 6 or 7 albums, and yeah, I love them. And even now, it's just it takes the stress away just listening to their music. And they did a lot for me. Bit of history about them, and I didn't know this. I thought they were like a late 80s band, but apparently they formed in 1984.
Did they really?
But didn't release their first album until 89.
Which was what?
The Offspring.
Okay.
Just called Offspring.
I always thought Smash was their first one.
No, Smash is their 3rd.
Is it Ignite, the middle
Ignition's... I always get them mixed up. I'm pretty sure it's Ignition first and then Smash.
Right, okay.
But thing about Ignition, it actually has my favourite song on there. It's called Dirty Magic.
Haven't they really done that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I absolutely loved. I think it was about 2012 when they released the Days Go By album. They remastered it and put a new sound to it, and it just sounded amazing. Absolutely loved it. But they are also credited, I guess, along with like Green Day, Blink, and NoFX. Don't actually know them. But anyway, they were actually credited as one of the first one of the bands to revive punk rock.
Yeah, I'd go with
They
that.
remind me of a generation of bleach blonde hair. Like Eminem, bleach blonde hair.
Me, bleach blonde hair.
You bleach blonde. I bleached my hair.
Did you?
Yeah,
I knew
in
it
the
was
millennium.
pink.
At the millennium, I bleached it. It was just a thing to do then.
I remember when you...
All right, no.
Ginger on it?
Yeah.
But no, it happened to me though, because I had it pink. I did have it. It was sort of pinkish reddish, and then I bleached it, and it did go ginger because the mix. Yeah, terrible choices. But yeah.
You actually put a ginger nut biscuit next to my hair, and
Yeah.
they looked exactly the same.
Brilliant.
Didn't he have like dreadlocks at the early stages? Didn't he, Dexter Holland?
Oh, I thought you me.
Yeah,
I never had dreadlocks. Yes, he did.
I tell you, I like Want You Bad. That's great.
All right.
Well, of course. But
You're
yeah,
married.
No, that'd be one of my favourite songs of theirs.
I Want You Bad. Yeah. There's also. Did you know?
Did you know?
In that music video,
Tenuous.
Zooey Deschanel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when she was young.
Oh, is that the one that gets the like foam all over her? No.
There's a certain part of that video that you remember vividly, right?
No, so I'm totally wrong. No, Zooey Deschanel's not in that video. When you said that, it's a completely different song. It's a different music video. Oh well. Anyway, next we will go on to you again, Stu.
Okay. Number 3, I picked Enter Shikari.
Just to interrupt, the reason why we're not coming to you, Tom, is because you brought up the gingerness.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
Offence.
Enter Shikari.
No, I know. See, way back, I don't know whenever the first start came out, I didn't like it. Didn't like it whatsoever. At all.
It was a bit different for the time, wasn't it?
And I think it was... I can't think even when I started to think, actually, this is alright, I don't mind it. They did the No Sleep Tonight, and that was played quite a lot on Kerrang, and over again. And I've listened to enough, I was like, this is quite good.
The only song I know by them...
Sorry, You're Not a Winner?
No.
That's Pendulum.
Yeah, I say that's yeah.
Okay, well, they're just as bad.
But they released Flash Flood of Colour, which was a brilliant album. It was amazing. I mean, I used to like dance music and dubstep and stuff like that, a bit like you, Tom, like a bit of Darude and all of that. And Prodigy were amazing. Firestarter and Shikari.
Prodigy, yes, Prodigy are good.
But Shikari fall in that kind of category where it crosses the genres. It brings together rockers, dubsteppers, dance, and I've been to a live concert of theirs, and it's amazing. You can mosh and dance at the same time. It's brilliant. And they're great guys. Their ethos is very political. It's very community, and break down the walls of race and religion and everything. They do a song called Meltdown, which is the opener to their Flash Full of Colour album, and they literally have a line that says, countries are just a line drawn in the sand with a stick, which resonates. That is true. Who decided that this country is this country, and it's just man and another man, and that's their whole ethos is like that, anti-government and anti-rule and anti.
Very political band, aren't they?
Very political band, and like I say, I like the fact that they mix the electronica with the rock, and that suits me perfectly. I love that. So, good to see live. Brilliant band to see live.
Every time they've been at Download, I've avoided them like the plague.
They're one of those bands, I think, if you saw live, you get it.
So high energy. Brilliant high energy. You should watch a video. Watch their download. They do this. It's like a medley. I can't remember what they call it. A quick fire round they call it. And they play snippets of like loads of songs all joined together, and it's just so energetic. It's amazing.
It might be worth a listen to then, I guess.
But then, I think you're more of a rock kind of man, and the whole electronica stuff probably doesn't appeal to you, so you might not enjoy it. But I like the whole jump about, dancey kind of element that they do as well.
Yeah, their first album was just, for me, it was a masterpiece.
Take to the Skies, yeah. It's good because obviously I started listening when Flash Flood of Colour came out, and I was like, okay, these aren't so bad, so I'll go back and Take to the Skies is brilliant. Yeah. So they're my third pick.
Okay, that's on to you then, Tom.
Any guesses?
No. What do you listen to? Limp Bizkit.
Oh no, good choice. Good buddies of the band that I have chosen though.
Korn.
Yeah, staring right in the face. Yeah, Korn. Yeah. Now that is very much a new metal band.
Stop it!
Right.
And we're back to this again.
Yeah, we're back to that. I think they created new metal. Really,
they did. When I was doing my research on Linkin Park,
yeah,
and they were credited as being new metal at the height as well. Korn were credited as starting new metal in the 90s, which I didn't actually realise. Like mid 90s as well. I didn't realise it was that.
Yeah, 94. I think their
3
first
or 4.
album. Yeah, which I'm kind of surprised. I thought Rage. Their first album was before.
Maybe I just ignored Rage.
So I class Rage as new metal as well. Well, no, I don't know. Rap
Rage
metal
should just be crap metal. Yeah, maybe crap. Yeah.
What
for me,
because they're rubbish. They just repeat the same words over and over and over again and call it music.
Okay.
It's the same as pop music these days. You just repeat. No.
Calm down. What were we talking about? Korn.
Korn. Anyway, back to
Korn. Yeah, so they created new metal. I think we've established that.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Which Linkin Park are not part of.
Fuck you.
Follow the Leader.
Yeah.
That is...
Yeah, that's brilliant.
That, if there's an album that defines that kind of era of music, I think that does.
Yeah.
And the video as well. You seen the video?
Not to that song.
What? You've seen the video. Freak on a Leash.
Freak on a Leash, yeah.
You must have seen the video with the bullet going
Oh,
flying.
yeah.
That's an iconic video.
Yeah.
That's still good.
How's it go?
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Go on, do it.
No.
You can do it.
No.
Go on.
Not on camera, I'm not.
Yeah, that bit, that's brilliant.
But yeah, when that breakdown happens, those heavy guitars, the amount of car speakers I've blown. Honestly, so good. But yeah, I mean, I think they were one of the first kind of heavy rock / metal bands that introduced 7-string guitars.
Yeah.
Down-tuned it. That's inspired lots of metal bands.
Not only that, but it's Monkey, isn't it?
Monkey,
the bassist.
yeah.
He's the way he plays the bass. Like
Oh,
the bass
Fieldy, bassist,
yeah. That was completely different to anybody
Yeah.
else as well.
Because he's sort of, I don't know, is he Pickett or...
He does it, but they call it bass slapping as well.
Slapping, yeah.
Slapping the bass.
Slapping the bass.
You can hear them, like, you can hear it resonating.
Yeah.
Can't you? But yeah. Did you ever get the CD of Follow the Leader?
Mm.
Because it wasn't like the first 13 tracks or something completely blank.
Yes.
And you had to skip to track like 14 before you actually heard the album.
So I've got a friend of mine who actually I think took the CD back because he thought it was broken. yeah, because it's like the first 13 tracks.
I don't know why they did that. I don't know what the origin of that was or why they did that.
But it's screwed with everyone's heads, isn't it?
Well, yeah, because like skip. When you used to have a Walkman that you had to hold really still, otherwise it bounced. But yeah.
Yeah, God, that's a cracking album. But yeah, they sort of changed. Sort of in the 2000s, they gone sort of more.
They did that album where they went dubstep. We've
Oh,
already established that I don't like that kind of
They did.
music, and then they did an album of dubstep.
They did Narcissistic
Cannibal.
something, didn't they, with Skrillex.
Yeah.
That wasn't the best choice.
No.
I liked it. Here to Stay, that album.
Yeah.
The one after Follow the Leader, wasn't it?
Untouchable.
Yes, that was amazing.
Yeah, that's sort of when they
Absolutely
changed their sound a little bit.
I still really like that album. Like Here to Stay. Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has got voices.
Iconic.
There's no one that sounds like
Yeah.
him. It is.
I mean,
unique.
he's very different to Chester and his very cool. Because Chester's beautiful voice, his is quite harsh. But in terms of how he doesn't sort of not sound like he does on the studio albums, he's very close to that.
Isn't there a song? I can't remember. I think it might be Shoots and Ladders. He actually records the bagpipes on a mountain.
Yeah, Shoots and Ladders. Yeah,
It's Shoots and Ladders.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just that's dedication to go up on top of a mountain and it does sound good.
It does. Yeah.
I mean, again, talking about as we always like to do in this channel about new sounds. Check that out, guys, because having it's only at the beginning really. Putting bagpipes into rock music.
Nursery rhyme as well, isn't it? Ring Around the Roses.
Yeah.
They do a song called My Gift to You as well, which he plays bagpipes a lot in that, and that's a very dark song.
That's on Follow the Leader as well, I think. Yeah. Last track.
Yeah, last track. Yeah.
Yeah.
But more recently, he did that song with Motionless in White. That was quite good.
Has he?
Yeah.
I've not heard that.
Necessary Evil.
Okay.
He cameoed on Queen of the Damned. Have you seen
Queen of the Damned? Yeah.
I mean, again, Chester does a song with that. Chester Bennington.
In fact,
David Draymond, and
Jonathan Davis from Korn was on Linkin Park's. Was it Reimagined?
I never liked the reimagined albums, especially the one with Jay-Z.
Didn't you?
That was Collision Course, wasn't it?
Yeah. You might talk about that album. Anyway, what's your favourite Korn song?
Favourite Korn song? I don't often pick the most popular song by an artist, but Freak on a Leash for me is...
That is a good song. Yeah.
Interesting enough, I was talking about Metallica Grammys. Do you reckon Korn have won any?
I mean, again, I'd say no, but you're going to...
They won 2. Yeah, again, it's a metal band.
My favourite song by them, I don't even know if it's technically by them or if it's technically by Limp Bizkit. All in the Family.
That's Fred and Jonathan, isn't it?
That is on Follow the Leader, so yeah, it is technically a Korn song.
Yeah, I love that song. I went through. We had that massive stage of loving Limp Bizkit.
Mm-hmm. I still love them.
Oh yeah, I still do as well, but I don't listen to them nearly half as much as I used to.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing.
See that song though? That it's because they collaborated with the Family Values tour, didn't they? Quite a lot.
Yeah.
And that spawned from that. But yeah, that is a great song. Funny, great song. All-time favourite though for Korn. It's got to be Blind. I love Blind. I just love that breakdown at the beginning.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Guess what?
Yeah.
I don't know it.
You must know it. You must know it. No? Right, that's it. You're going to have to listen to that.
And this is why I do a reaction channel, because I literally don't know music. Right, that's everybody for number 3. So what's next? 2!
Dots.
So, Stu.
Oh, hello.
We will begin with you.
Okay. For my second, I've chosen Bring Me the Horizon.
Okay. Love them.
So my last two are very much what I'm into now and currently. Bring Me... I can't remember how long ago I must have got into them. Probably when That's the Spirit came out.
Okay, I was about to say, was it early or late? Because like Tom would like the first album. I hate the first album.
So yeah, a lot. I mean, there's people in two different camps, isn't there? People that like old Bring Me and not new Bring Me, and people that like new Bring Me and not old Bring Me.
Yeah.
And I prefer new Bring Me.
I prefer new Bring Me.
As of I think Sempiternal onwards, amazing, brilliant.
Yes.
And they brought on Jordan Fish, and I believe that's when it started to change. And they, people say they sell out, but people's sound changes, and it just so happened it was a more popular sound.
Yeah.
So,
See, this annoys me about. Exactly right. Sound does change, and it's not selling out. It's that they need to keep up with the times. Otherwise, you're just going to sound stale and boring.
The thing is, now they make music for arenas. They make it so that it is good live, and it shows.
And their shows are amazing.
Some of the best I've been to, and it even transposed into Download, which it wasn't their show. It was a festival, but it felt like it was a Bring Me the Horizon show. The whole story that they play out and the theatrics they do. Yeah, definitely one of the best bands to see live. I must say Dear Diary is probably my favourite song of theirs. I mean, Post-Human Survival Horror came out during COVID, during lockdown.
Brillint album.
And it kept me sane and must have kept everyone else sane. And Dear Diary was basically a big, how everybody felt during lockdown, going brain dead, isolated is one of their lines, and that's how everybody must have felt.
The song I loved off that album, the one with Amy Lee from Evanescence.
Yeah, about Mother Earth and us killing Mother Earth. Yeah, that's great, and obviously sing it live. Download. I mean, that was that's once in a lifetime.
Yeah,
once in a lifetime. And
that whole album is so good.
And obviously now they're struggling to top it because they've had to delay releasing their album because they're not happy with it.
I mean, I'd rather
it's got to be difficult. It's got to be hard. You're putting too much pressure on themselves a little bit. Yeah, I'm very much perfectionist. But yes, no, definitely enjoyed Sempiternal and That's the Spirit as well. Mm-hmm. Great songs on that. I mean, Sugar Honey Ice.
Sugar Honey Ice and Tea.
Yeah. See, I found that album terrible. Ammo.
See, it's not their strongest one, but it's got quite a few good tracks on it. Medicine, obviously, that's a good track on there. Mm-hmm. Mantra, is that Ammo? Or is that?
Yeah, that's on there. Yeah.
In the Dark.
Is that Ammo? Don't know.
No, that might be the one after, actually.
No, it's on that. Ammo, quite a slow one.
I love In the Dark. I think it's the video on that sells it for me because it's got Forrest Whitaker in it.
Yeah.
And Wonderful Life. I like Wonderful Life. That's
you like that because it's got
Danny Filth.
Yeah.
Cradle of Filth.
And it made me realise that your brain degenerates after you're like 20 odd years old, doesn't it? That's what.
Yes,
which is scary.
Yeah, early Bring Me's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
I appreciate what they've done post Sempiternal, That's a Spirit I thought was a good solid album, but they're very scattergun. I find like they swap around their sounds and what they're doing, which is good.
I like that. I like that they have a range.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But a lot of it is not for me. I do like the early stuff.
Yeah, I don't.
It's a little bit too hardcore.
Too screamo.
So,
yeah. Have we said favourite songs?
Dear Diary, I said. Dear Diary would be my
Diary,
favourite, just for its...
I'd probably go Shadow Moses.
Very good
that
song.
That is a strong song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, for me, it's so difficult because obviously, as you said, through lockdown, that's when I got into them really. And I would watch YouTube and just have Bring Me On constantly, and there was so many good songs, but if I was to pick, and the one that I keep going back to, it has to be the one with Baby Metal. Kingslayer. And that's because it's, different again.
Again, it's good.
So if you don't know who Baby Metal are, they are a Japanese
metal band.
Metal, yeah, I guess.
J-pop turn
metal. That's the perfect way to put it. And they take a few songs to get into it because they are different.
Take a deep breath.
Yeah. But then put it with Bring Me the Horizon. It just works so well. Loved it.
I like all the collaborations they did on that album.
Yeah.
They Obey with Youngblood and One by One with Nova Twins. Yeah.
I don't like the Nova Twins by themselves, but that song with Bring Me, I thought was a brilliant song.
And obviously the Amy Lee one with.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
Beautiful song.
Yeah. And it's quite funny how they came to that because.
Yeah.
They got sued mainly for
Nihilist
covering...
Blues.
Yeah, I think it's Nihilist Blues, yeah. Because that's why they could only play it live with Amy Lee, because it's the tune underneath
is
hers. But they didn't realise that they'd copied.
Yeah. Didn't realise.
Didn't.
Right. You done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Tom.
Okay. So my second band is Avenged Sevenfold.
Avenged. It's a band that I've not really heard of a lot about recently.
No, I mean, we saw them at Download in 2018.
How you know? I don't know what year it was.
Yeah, it's 2018.
I don't know what I did yesterday.
His voice was knackered. I remember from that Download show.
Was it?
Yeah, it's gone.
It was because of that show that I fell in love with one of their songs, but we'll go into that later. But I didn't notice anything wrong with his voice in that show.
It was blown. It was gone.
Oh. I might have been too drunk then.
No, you sat in your chair, sulking the whole time.
Sounds like me as well.
But no, I think he had surgery. Had some like nodules or something removed from his vocal cords. Their latest album, not for me, but his voice is just not as it once was. He's a very powerful voice, but do you remember sort of when you got into him? Any sort of first songs?
See, I'm not a huge Avenged fan. The only songs that I really like of theirs is obviously Nightmare's good. I quite like Nightmare. Hail to the King. Backcountry, is that what it's called?
Backcountry,
yeah. That was the song I was trying to think. I was humming the tune in my head then. Yeah, that was the song that got me.
Yeah. City of Evil, that's the album. Third album, actually. So they're very metalcore to begin with. They sort of transitioned into that hard
sold
rock.
Out.
Yeah, sold out, yeah, as you might put it. But he wanted to move away from the screamo. Yeah, but...
Hang on.
Oh, right, yeah. But the album they did after that, which was self-titled Avenged Sevenfold, it's got my favourite song on there, Little Piece of Heaven.
Which is Your tat. I
What's
don't know
that?
who you're going to be able to see that on there. Show them.
Probably not.
Not
very
really.
good. No, great song. Very different from Avenged
Very
as well.
different.
Very different.
Bit of fun,
Yeah.
but really dark and evil.
And you like it because orchestra.
Ah. Well, it's a trick question then.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It probably is right. Yeah, I never really actually thought about it. Yeah.
But it's got that kind of Tim Burton
Yes.
Nightmare Before Christmas type of vibe to
Yeah.
it. Yeah, really good live as well. Yeah, I don't think they do it often live anymore, but they did it
Yeah, they
download.
did,
Yeah.
See, my favourite song because of Download, it just stands out to me because I thought it sounded amazing. I wasn't really into Avenged. Obviously, I'd heard a couple of their songs, and then this song came on, and it just blew me away. "Hail to the King." I thought that was it's the intro.
Banana.
But they got slated for that album.
Really?
Yeah, because if you ever do get the chance to listen through it, you can hear what feels like them taking other songs from other artists.
Oh right.
So you got some, I think it's like Sad But True from Metallica. You've got a bit of Guns N' Roses in there.
Oh wow.
So they got really slated for that because it sounded like they're trying to copy successful songs as a blueprint.
I mean, why not?
Why not? But I also think like they had the original drummer, the Rev, who sadly
The one that passed away.
Yeah, and I think their musical style and their writing perhaps diverged after that. I think Nightmare is the last album he worked on, and then you got the Hail to the King.
See, I like the song he did with Steel Panther.
Yeah.
Turn out the lights.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean,
Turn out the
yeah.
I would
It's just his voice really works on
recommend watching that song, listening to that song, watching that video with kids around.
No, but his voice in that's really good. I mean, he's got a really distinct, good voice.
I actually like the one where he's collaborating with Good Charlotte.
The River?
The River.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good song.
Yeah, it's got Sinister Gates, the guitarist, on it as well.
What's the one where it comes out
Who's
with the like grave on a guitar?
The guitarist for Revenge.
Ah.
Yeah.
Is
Sorry.
the one where he's like coming out of a grave with a guitar? Who's that?
Slash.
Yeah, no, that's Avenged.
Yeah.
Christ. Can't remember the name of the song.
No.
That's City of Evil. Save the Day.
Yeah, I'm
Something
not
like
sure.
that.
Savior. No. Anyway.
Yeah.
Cool. So, right. My one, I guess.
Go for it.
So, I'm just going to go straight into my favourite song because that was the song that also got me into this band. It's a band that have been going since the late 90s, early 90s. The band for my number 2 is the Foo Fighters.
Good choice.
You've heard of the Foo Fighters, right?
Who are they?
So as I was saying, my favourite song is because it's the song that got me into them is All My Life. So I didn't even get into Foo Fighters in their earlier stuff, so I'd already missed 3 albums. So
Yeah,
this was their 4th album. And from there I listened to their earlier stuff. So that's where you had things like Learn to Fly and Everlong, Breakout, Monkey Wrench.
Yeah.
And I just fell in love with them. And the more as time went on, the more you found out. So the lead singer, is called Dave Grohl, and he is dubbed the nicest guy of rock.
Can't argue with that.
No, I mean, even with a broken leg.
Even with a broken leg,
Gets up and carries on.
not many people would do that.
No.
But yeah, so they released an album. Maybe 2012ish. It's a double-sided album. So you had the first side, which was all like the Foo Fighters sounding music, rock, and then another album, and it was very different to what they sounded like, but it was still so good. In it, they did a song called "Cold Day in the Sun," where you actually hear or the vocals, the lead vocals are by the drummer Taylor Hawkins.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was amazing.
He's got a good voice.
He did. But I did lose interest in them.
Yeah.
Sonic
Highways. Terrible album in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think they tried to change too much and it just didn't work for them. Luckily, they did bring it back on the album after, Concrete and something or other, Gold, was it? Concrete and Gold,
yeah.
Because they had things like Run.
Quite a heavy song, actually.
Yeah. And then also Sky is a neighbourhood. Such a simple song, but I thought it was quite a powerful song.
That's good, yeah.
As you're well aware, I'm sure, obviously Taylor Hawkins died in 2022. So lots of conflicting stories about it, whether it was drugs. So it was drugs, but the reason behind the drugs. So some say he was ill and he had overdosed on his pain medication, and so others obviously he was just partying too much and overdosed. But either way, it's sad. Such a loss again for the music world. It seems to be a reoccurring theme with a lot of all my favourite stuff at the minute, is that someone's passed in it.
Yeah, just don't like a band.
The curse.
Oh, but yeah, so he passed away. I was lucky though. I managed to go to the Taylor Hawkins tribute gig in London. So they did 2 of those, one in London, one in LA. And my God, it is the #1 show I've ever been to.
Bet you had to take out a mortgage for those tickets.
We won't talk about that.
Okay.
But I took my mum.
Ah.
And front row seats. Obviously we were still up in the heavens, but it was row A and perfect view, and it was such a great day. 8-9 hours of constant music.
Nice.
But no, definitely worth a check. If you've think it's Paramount TV, you can watch the whole show live on there.
Oh.
The London show, that is. For some reason you can't watch the one in LA, which is really annoying. But since then they replaced the drummer with Josh Freese.
Josh Freese.
Yeah. Who used to be the drummer for the Offspring, as well as a lot of other bands.
He's kind of a drummer for hire, isn't he? Really?
Yeah, especially touring as well.
Mm.
But no, he's a good drummer. I mean, I don't know if he's as good as Taylor, but Taylor's one of those that he's one of the best. You probably disagree.
I don't know. What makes a good drummer?
Energy.
Yeah. Not about speed, technique.
No, that's the energy. That's all. Having the energy. Yeah.
See, I'd always go Joey Jordison, but
he's dead, isn't he?
He's dead. Yeah. Yeah.
Luckily, he's not on my top list, because probably more people would die from it by looking at my list.
What's your favourite song?
Foos. Oh, well, I've already said it. It's the one that got me into it all my life.
Yeah.
I'll go Low.
Same album, that wasn't it?
Brilliant song.
Yeah.
And
but
it is a video that I've always said that I'd recreate.
I mean, his friendship with Jack Black's just so heartwarming, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, watching both of them together is fun. It's so funny.
If this channel ever picks up, we will recreate that music video.
Oh, God.
Donate now.
If you haven't seen the music video, watch it. Low, Foo Fighters, and then come back and comment, subscribe, and if they get enough, we'll redo it. I'm not sure who will be who.
Well, I'm going to have to be Jack Black now, aren't I?
Well, that'll be a fun video to do, definitely.
You might lose a lot of subscribers.
Only the ones that don't appreciate art.
I'm not sure it'd be very PG.
No, it would not.
No.
Yeah. What about you? Your
Favourite song?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm going to go really left field here. It's on their greatest hits. Any guesses?
Or something like the Wheels.
Wheels, yeah. I love that song. I don't know what it is.
It is a good song.
Yeah.
It's a shame it shouldn't be on a greatest hits. It should be, have its own repertoire.
But I'll tell you what I did really like before that was the one that Thieves did for a movie. I think it's on a movie soundtrack.
You're Not the One.
That was a good. That was Orange County. It's actually
Orange County, yeah.
one of my favourite films with Jack Black. Next, well, I think that's it for number 2, isn't it?
Yeah.
1.
Brilliant.
Tom, we'll start with you.
Well, my number 1 band is Slipknot.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's why someone's died, because it's on this list.
2 of them have actually
2?
died. Yeah. You've got Joey and you've got Paul Gray as well.
Of course you have. Yeah.
But another band that came out in the late 90s, 99, their debut album, in the height of new metal.
But not new metal.
They're not new metal.
They're not screamo.
They're not screamo. No.
I mean, they definitely scream.
They definitely scream. Yeah. Unclean vocals.
They definitely have unclean vocals. Yeah.
But funny enough, I was actually looking up about Slipknot, and they actually formed way back in the early 90s. And they had lots of different variations before they sort of settled on their end lineup in about 98.
They did the first time, didn't they, without Corey Taylor?
I was about to say that there was a different singer first, wasn't there?
Yeah.
So Corey was actually in Stone Sour, and
sorry, just to interrupt. Sorry, I thought Stone Sour was an offspring of.
No.
Ah.
So Corey and Jim Root were in Stone Sour, and the guys from Slipknot saw them at show because their original vocalist was very screamo, and they thought Corey's got kind of the singing as well, so they brought him and Jim Root in, and the rest is history.
Wow, didn't know that.
Yeah, but sadly two members have passed away. Joey Jordison is the most recent, although he'd been out of the band for about 4 or 5 years. He had, I think it's called transverse myelitis, so his ability to drum had been severely impacted. And then you had Paul Gray as well back in 2010, I want to say. So first time I got to see Slipknot live was at Download 2009. So I was very lucky to see the original lineup.
Was I there?
Don't think you were. I think you might have been in Australia at the time. New Zealand.
Okay. I definitely saw them before I went there. No, I went. No, I must have seen them then because I went to New Zealand when the Olympics were on.
Oh, okay.
So that was 2012. So yeah. So the drums and all that went upside down.
Yeah, so you used to come up on a riser and then face out towards the crowd, spin around.
Yeah. So no, I did see that one. It was a good show.
It is a good show, yeah.
And then we saw them again this year.
Yeah. I've seen him at Download, 4 times now. Yeah.
What I liked about it, especially more so now, is that what I liked about him was that at Download this year, he even said that his vocals, he was ill and his vocals were off. Yet he still gave it everything he had.
Yeah.
And did not stop. And to me, I'm not a mega fan, so you probably disagree with me. To me, I didn't really hear any difference to how he sounded live on an album. I thought he was still brilliant.
I think it's always difficult when you're there at a gig or a show to notice vocals being off. I think if you're watching like a YouTube clip of live, you can hear it, but I think if you're there, you don't always notice it. But I've seen clips of it, and you can hear it's very throaty.
Like your throat right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey man, I've had man flu for like 4 weeks. So
why are you sitting next to me?
Oh yeah, spread the love.
I saw Slipknot Download, and that was in 2005.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Oh, wow.
It was,
That's before my time then.
Slipknot and System of a Down on the same bill, same evening. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that must have been Volume 3, that kind of era.
I think so. Yeah. Joey was still in it. We saw Joey doing a coming up, spinning around, and
yeah. And Corey had his sort of purple
dreads.
hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
Nice. Yeah. Favourite song, Slipknot?
Ooh, for me, it's not one that's that common. It's Vermilion.
You know what? I was about to say that, but not which one, because there's two.
I like both.
I prefer
like
part 2.
The slower one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I like both. Vermilion, probably one of my favourites.
But my favourite, Snuff.
Oh, see, yeah, that's
yeah,
great.
okay.
Great video as well.
Yeah.
They played that this year, didn't they?
Yeah.
This was quite a shock.
I knew before even you did.
I know.
No, I think, brilliant song. As you said, brilliant video. It's got Malcolm McDowell in it as well, who's Clockwork Orange.
Is he in Heroes as well?
He is in Heroes, yeah. But yeah, brilliant song, brilliant video. Definitely check it out, guys.
Yeah, but I was like a massive rock fan, like Guns, Aerosmith, and I remember going into an HMV back in those days. I remember seeing the cover of their first album. It's just all 9 of them lined up. I thought that's a nuts looking clip.
Yeah, so how many is there?
9.
Oh, you just said.
Yeah, 9 of them. And I thought I'm going to buy that just purely based on the album cover.
Wow.
And that's the first time I got into anything metal. But my favourite song is probably off of the second album, Iowa, which is Heretic Anthem.
555.
666.
Yeah.
Spit It Out. I like that.
Spit It Out.
It's amazing.
Yeah, no, very good number 1, Tom. Stuart.
Oh, number 1 for me.
Give me your number 1.
So my number 1 at the moment, really heavily into this, is Ice Nine Kills, or Ink. I mean, they are at the top of their game at the moment, aren't they? I mean, the Silver Scream, Silver Scream, and Horrorwood, some of the best, most wonderfully artistic albums I've ever heard. It's just such a great idea. So if anybody doesn't know,
yeah, if you guys not checked it out, I have done a reaction video with it was just me, I believe, for the Halloween specials. Go back to Halloween, and I believe it's the first day, which was Meet and Greet. I personally don't think that was one of their best songs.
No.
So definitely check out their other stuff.
But if you've never listened to Ice Nine Kills before, the last 2 albums, which really got me into listening to them, are all horror film based. So every single song is they're taking on a particular horror film, and it's just so clever. Even the videos that they do, the way that they throw in
mimic exactly,
like they,
movements and
things from the videos, and some of the lyrics sort of relate back to. You can tell what song it's about. You can tell what film it's about, can't you? You can tell which horror film they're talking about. My favourite song of them is got to be Hip to Be Scared.
Yeah,
absolutely love Hip to Be Scared. So they base it off of American Psycho, and I don't know if anybody's seen American Psycho, but the main character, Christian Bale, he loves Huey Lewis is his favourite sort of band, and he talks about how great they are.
Yeah, and
they reference that so well. Like they have that.
They mimic exactly.
Sort of, third way through the song, they have a change where they change to this really like 80s style type pop beat, which it references obviously Huey Lewis and what they were like back then. So I think that's just really clever.
Yeah, and even almost say like the same words from the film. So instead of like Huey Lewis, they say, "Do you like Ice Nine Kills?"
But to be honest, it's a true line as well, though, isn't it? What they're saying, if you've listened to any of the earlier Ice Nine Kills stuff, it's okay, but it's not that great. And the line they say is true. Do you like Ice Nine Kills? No, not really. But when the Silver Scream came out,
they really came into their own,
commercially and artistically speaking.
Do you like Ice Nine Kills?
Not really.
Their early work was a little bit too scene for me, but when the Silver Scream came out, I think they really came into their own, commercially and artistically. The whole album has a refined melodic sensibility that really makes it a cut above the rest. Hey, Paul!
No, it's really I mean, both of your number 1 so far have been brilliant. I mean,
I've not been fortunate enough to see Ice Nine Kills live yet. You saw them at Download.
I saw them.
And that's not fair, because I really want to go see them. They look like they've done such a great show.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest regret there, and that was purely because the weather, it was so hot, it was unbearable. I was too far back. I wish I was up closer and seen them. So next time they're touring, we'll definitely go.
Definitely go.
Because
definitely go.
they are an amazing. band. And yeah, I mean, they've just finished now. They're
Horrorwood's all done, all wrapped up. So hopefully, see some more coming out.
Yeah, and hopefully they'll carry on with the horror theme.
I can't see why they're not now. It's working in their favour.
Exactly, and there's so much more they can do.
Oh yeah, they've not done The Exorcist yet.
You got like Exorcist. What's that one with the mime? That's
don't know. But they haven't done The Nun, Annabelle. All those they could do. The Conjuring, obviously, Insidious.
So much more.
Loads.
There's a never-ending supply. So no, I've got big hopes for them that they're going to keep going. And
do you have a favourite?
I mean, you said "Hip to Scared." I mean, that would have been that was the song that got me into them. But if I was to pick, Welcome to Horrorwood.
Yeah, brilliant. That's what I thought you might pick. Yeah.
Tom, are you a fan?
Not so much. But I think it's on the Silver Scream. I think it's like a Michael Myers
Stabbing in the Dark.
Stabbing in the Dark. Yeah, that's probably my favourite one.
Yeah. No, I mean they're definitely a band. I can't really, like you said, that they've already had before Amazon. They're not really a new band, but they've just appeared to me out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So no, definitely, yeah, good choice, Stu. Anything else to say?
No, that's it. Other than I wish I could go see them.
Yeah.
What's your
Come on
number
then, number
Oh,
one.
my
Come
number
on, it's
one.
your number one now.
Okay.
ABBA.
Yes.
Dancing Queen.
No.
No? Oh, okay.
So.
Hang on. It'll be Steps, wouldn't it? You saw them recently.
I did not see Steps.
Oh no, it's S Club.
Oh, was it? Oh yeah, sorry, that's
7.
it. S Club 5. I mean, 7.
I took my partner Emma to S Club.
Yeah.
It wasn't for me. To be fair, they were actually pretty good. And they weren't S Club 7 anymore, are they? Because one of them... Sorry.
This is a running theme.
Yeah, I'm not laughing at because he's passed away. I'm laughing because it seems to be a running theme. But yeah, one of them passed away. One of them used to be with him and didn't want to carry on with the show, so she quit. So it was S Club 5, basically. But they still put on a great show. Right. So, my number one.
S Club 5.
So, this band, they were put together in 2008 from inside a prison. So he was originally a part of another band, Escape the Fate. He then went to prison for an altercation, which after doing some research, because I've mentioned this multiple times, because I have done 2 or 3 reaction videos for his songs now, but his friend killed somebody, and I thought that's why he went to prison, because I know some laws in America that you get put in prison for association. But no, it's because first off, he had brass knuckles at the altercation, but they didn't put him in prison. They gave him probation, and then he didn't bother to report to his probation officer.
Oh, what an amateur.
So he went to prison for 2 years. So I've not actually said what the band is, have I?
No.
So the singer is Ronnie Radke, and the band is Falling in Reverse. So anyway, that's why he went to prison, because he didn't meet his probation officer. Something stupid as that. So he got kicked out of his original band, and then somehow put a band together while in prison, and then got together properly in 2000 and I can't see what year it was, 8. Yeah, and that's when we first heard them.
Yeah.
On a night, I was watching Kerrang TV like we used to, having a few drinks, and this song comes on. I'm Not a Vampire. And it was so different to what we were always watching. Like, yeah, so it'd be Slipknot, Rammstein, Linkin Park, and then there was this. It was fun. The video was funny.
Yeah.
And it was an instant liking from that. And a lot of their songs back then were all like tongue in cheek. It's all a bit cheeky.
Yeah.
And and then I think there's a song about the third album where they are impersonating the Americans Got Talent judges. So you got Simon Cowell and what's the Aerosmith singer? Steven Tyler. And that was hilarious. But they did go down again. Another running theme. Every group, I guess, has to have it. They changed too much, and I lost interest for that album. But thank God that they did try to change, because then the next album after that, they'd obviously learned from their mistakes and brought out a cracking album after that. And I think that was so it must have been their 5th album, I think. Yeah, and from there they did. I mean, I know you weren't a fan of it. It was like the songs they did. It's a trilogy of songs like "Losing My Mind" and "Losing My Life" and "Drugs." And "Drugs" actually has Slipknot singer Corey Taylor in it.
Yeah,
and I thought that's where he starts rapping. With I know you don't like. You did that Maki Basad song that you didn't like the rap in that. You just don't seem to like the rap in rock, do you? Unless it's Limp Bizkit.
No, I'm not having that. Not having that. Bloodywood, it was the lyrics. Because it was like it was written by a 10-year-old. But I don't mind rap.
Okay.
Just to, get you straight on that one. Carry on.
Okay. But yeah, so obviously did that, and then all of a sudden he's changed from this cheeky chappy to something really dark, and he's singing about himself and his dark life, basically. And that's where I think a lot of people can
relate.
Thank you. To what he's then obviously not going to the prison part, but other stuff, and it's just really dark. And then it's new stuff where he's now talking about like the government and people, like everything. Even if you said something 10 years ago, you're going to get cancelled.
Yeah,
the cancel culture, and he's ripping into that, and fair play, because that is a problem, I think, in our time and age now, is that everything. There are some things, yes, that should be cancelled for just being wrong, but then there's others, like when comedians and all that I don't agree with it, that everything should get cancelled because someone doesn't agree with it. That's part of life. Everyone has different thoughts and things, but they don't need to be cancelled.
No.
But anyway, back to that. Yeah, so loved it up to that, and now the newest stuff I'm in love with.
Zombified.
No, I did, but I'm talking about the reimagined stuff.
The orchestral piano.
So the song that got us into it. I'm Not a Vampire. They redid, put an orchestra behind it, put a choir with it. Wow.
And at the end, it's really like...
Yeah.
Like...
Screamo!
But yeah.
and they've done that with that one. They've also done it with... there was the Papa Roach's one.
Drugging Me Is You?
That's not Papa Roach's one.
No, I know, but
that was the song I couldn't remember. Yeah, the Drugging Me Is You, but it's the Drugging Me is reimagined. And then obviously Papa Roach's Last Resort. You heard that?
I have heard that. Yeah. Haven't you done a reaction?
I did do a reaction when it first came out.
Mm.
Again, love an orchestra, and I think they are masterpieces. And I think he should do more songs like that because it really shows his singing.
Do you know my favourite song is Fashionably Late? It's an old one. I like it.
On the dot, on the spot.
It's just fun, upbeat, and while it's not it's a
song about cheating on your girlfriend.
Yeah, but he makes it fun and happy.
It is a good song.
That's quite like old songs like Bad Girls Club and that, and their older stuff where it is they're singing about something that's not meant to be that funny, but they somehow make it very light-hearted.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I liked about them.
That's probably my favourite album. That album.
It's good.
The whole album, Fashionably Late, yeah. It is a good album. I don't think there's a bad song on it. But yeah, no, I mean, so that's my number one.
What did you say? Alone? Alone. Was that off that album?
Yeah.
That wasn't that great. I don't think he should have done the...
That was the one, that was the fourth one that I was talking about, the one where they completely changed their sound.
You threw the rapping in and it didn't work.
It didn't work.
Whereas the rapping now on like Watch Your World Burn is quite good.
Yeah.
But on Alone it's not great.
I just take it as it was a learning curve. And then, like I said, the album after that, brilliant. They've taken everything that was wrong with that album and made it better. Yeah, so that is our top 5 artists.
Think of all those artists we've missed out.
I know there's so much more I could have said.
So much more.
I mean, I'm not even going to mention it, but maybe that'll be for another time. If you guys enjoyed this, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave us some comments. Do you agree with things we were saying? Do you disagree and want to put things to us nicely? I've said it before, but not all of us have thick skin.
Apparently not.
So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. This has been fun, and we would like to do this again. Maybe not as long next time.
No.
So I think that's been maybe nearly an hour, but I don't actually know.
I think this is an hour and a half.
Ah, wow.
Doesn't feel that long.
No, it doesn't. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, guys, please subscribe. Let us know. We'll do shorter ones next time, maybe half an hour long. But I've enjoyed this.
Yeah.
Bit different.
It has been different.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys, for being here with me. Thanks for watching. And until the next time, bye-bye.